Okay, let's talk about watering your avocado tree at this time of year, again during the flowering period. Generally that's February, March, and April. As I mentioned before, your trees are beginning to flower, and in general the flowers on avocado trees cannot control their water loss, so they can lose a lot of water. However, on the other side of that is, remember, avocados lose their leaves during the flowering period, so they won't be losing water through their leaves. Having said that, in general, they don't need an excessive amount of water. You don't need to water the trees every day. You have several things to remember. Number one is, if we are under water use restrictions, you have to follow those regulations on when you can water and for how long you can water. What I would recommend for a tree this size during the flowering period is you can water 1 time a week for a couple of hours, and that should be fine. Now, if you have a very young tree, let's say 1, 2, 3 years old tree, you can actually water that by hand. You can put on a fancy nozzle if you want, or you can use the end of the hose. Just don't leave it there by the tree, but sprinkle the water around the base of the tree out to maybe a 2-foot, 3-foot area, and just soak that area for a couple of minutes, 5–10 minutes at most, and those trees will be fine. On this larger tree, this is about a 7 or 8 year old tree, what I would recommend is, if you don't already have an irrigation system installed, if you're using sprinklers with hoses like this, buy a sprinkler that is basically only going to irrigate under the tree canopy, from the drip line of the tree, in other words, the end of the canopy towards the trunk. Very easy. This will limit the distribution of the water to where the majority of roots are. And you can set this sprinkler 2–3 feet away from the trunk, and when you water, it's just going to distribute the water right where the roots are.